Greetings, YouTube. Happy Friday. You know, this day has become synonymous with offers, I would say at least twice a month. We will see if this Friday is one of those times where there is something exciting. Fridays are now going to be incursion nights on my channel. I think Fridays and I don't know, maybe even Sundays might be incursion nights, depending. That's the goal, at least. That's the vision. All right, so claim the daily crystal. We do have one notification, and it is indeed an offer. Now, some of you said, Prof, we don't have enough unit offers that have come into the game this year, which I don't know. I haven't kept track at like what the average is for a past year versus this year, so you might be right, you might not be. It might just be a feeling. But we do have a class and basic bundle waiting in the store, and indeed this is a tiered, so I will need somebody, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people, to send me images of the Thronebreaker bundle or the Cavalier bundle to break down, because as usual I can only see what's in front of me to grade. But you can spend up to 5,500 units on this if you buy both, right? Yeah, look at that basic math. All right, a fully formed Tier 5 class catalyst selector, which is just 100% selector, which I think is valued at the point in this game maximum of about $50 for Paragon players. So max of like 1,400 units maybe. And then half of a Tier 6 and half of a Tier 3. And so, you know, I guess if there is good news, it's that, and I know there are not Paragon players that are really free-to-play players. They do exist. In fact, I've done a crystal opening commentary submission from a free-to-play player who was Paragon. And now that we have Act 8.1 exploration and Act 7 exploration with rank 3 to rank 4 rank up gems, you can get 2 6 stars to rank 4 from those gems without purchasing anything. But here's part of the intense and immediate discussion of this, because I am guessing that most people don't have 53,000 units like I do in my treasurer, as that is just my way of being patient but also being responsible. So the question becomes, should you take a gamble? And really this isn't a gamble because everything's a selector, but should you take a gamble in the sense that you're going to deplete your units or hoard them for better or for worse expectations of Cyber Weekend, which is in, about 6 weeks from now? If this was a deal that was in like August, I think I'd be more excited about it. It's not an F grade by any means. I think this is about average for Paragon players now. And it's not quite, but almost 3,000 units, which is $100. It's almost $100 worth of units. Now, I spent more than this on 10 featured Cavalier crystals for really Iron Doom more than anybody, but I guess technically Benedict Spiderbatch, a.k.a. the new Mystic Spider-Man. And I got 4 5 stars, no 6 stars, no Nexus crystals, and none of the 5 stars were the featured or sub-featured champion. So in the grand scheme of things, if I take out my YouTube channel and the content that I got from it and just look at the value, there was no value. Or if there was value, it was like a couple hundred units worth of value. So if I had a choice between spending those 3,000 units on 10 gamble featured Cavalier crystals that ended up giving me really nothing of substance, or this, it is obvious that this is infinitely a better way to spend your units. But the discussion at hand in this video is not featured Cavalier crystals, it's Cyber Weekend offers. And I can confidently say that this is still not worth giving up the Cyber Weekend units. Now, if you have the units and you can spend them, there is a lot more guaranteed value in this than a lot of unit offers before. And we even need to compare that to cash level Paragon offers with stamps. So if you were to spend $35 on 7 Paragon daily specials, or technically Thronebreaker daily specials with Paragon stamps, you would get enough of a stamp selector to have 11,400 Tier 6 basic catalyst fragments and 9,000 Tier 3 alpha. So, assuming that this is, and it is, more than $70 worth of units, you would get 18,000 Tier 3 alpha and 22,000 Tier 6 basic for $70. Now, of course, that's not counting all the items you get in the daily specials themselves. This is just the bonus stamps. So comparing that to this offer makes it seem pretty comparable, but you might feel that a Tier 5 class catalyst selector is one of the things you need most. And if that's the case, then this would actually be a little bit more tempting, because you get a 10% selector for Paragon offers 6 times a week. So that gets you, 60% of a Tier 5 class catalyst selector for $30. And so this is the equivalent of 200% of Tier 5 class catalyst selector if you buy both, or 100% if you buy one. So it is comparable, but at the same time, the catch in that is that if you use units and you're free to play, you can actually buy this. Whereas if you want the daily specials, of course, you have to spend cash in the unit store. So is this worth draining your units? If you have to choose between this and Cyber Weekend, no, save your money. If you don't and you want guaranteed value, you're much better buying this than you would be buying featured calves like I blew my units on yesterday. I would say overall, for Paragon players, I'd give this about a C+ grade. I think it's better than average, but not really good and certainly not exceptional. And we are only 6 weeks away from Cyber Weekend, so that needs to factor into every unit offer, especially that I grade from here on out.